Two balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Reyes fires, swing and a drive, deep left field. It's his way back. Walk the ball. Chris Taylor.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined by Matt Moreno. Matt, this is part 3 of a series we're doing looking at Buster Olney's list. He ranks the top 10 players at every position heading into 2022. We've done relief pitchers, we've done starting pitchers. Now we move to catchers. And unsurprisingly, our guy, Will Smith, is on the list, but maybe surprising to some, he comes in at number 4 behind Yasmani Grandal, JT Realmuto, Salvador Perez. I've got thoughts on Will Smith. I'll save them for just a moment. I'm curious for you, Matt, when you look at the list and the top 3 guys ahead of Smith, do you feel like this is a fair ranking?
Oh, I guess you could say it's fair. Is it correct? Probably not. I think Will Smith is arguably the 3rd best catcher. For me, there's an argument and a debate on whether you want to place him or, defectively swap him with a Yasmani Grandal or a Salvador Perez. I know what Grandal brings behind the plate defensively. I think some of my view, and I'm speaking just for myself, is watching him during his time with the Dodgers. He was very good at times, but also very bad at times, and it was frustrating. It was confusing. And with Salvador Perez, I've always viewed him as a defensive specialist type thing. But he had a tremendous year at the plate hitting last season, and so I think that's maybe what kept him ahead of Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean, for those that watch, Will Smith is my favorite Dodgers player. I think a compelling case could be made that Will Smith belongs at number 1 on this list. And Olney even mentions in his notes, at some point, Will Smith will be number 1. I'm curious why it's not this year. If you look at catchers across baseball last season, there was just one catcher who had a higher wins above replacement than Will Smith. That was Buster Posey. So Will Smith was 2nd on that list. There were 3 catchers in baseball who had over 500 plate appearances: Smith, Realmuto, and Perez. Smith had a higher wins above replacement than both, as I said, 4.6, and it was 1.2 wins above replacement higher than Salvador Perez. So career year for Salvador Perez, still a distant 3rd to Will Smith when it comes to wins above replacement. If you go back since Will Smith debuted, 2019, he's 3rd in all of baseball in wins above replacement among catchers, Realmuto and Grandal ahead of him there, but he's way ahead of Salvador Perez. Smith has played 71 fewer games than Grandal, 105 fewer than Realmuto. So there is some weirdness there when you're comparing wins above replacement. But here's the key. Will Smith over the past 3 seasons, OPS 892. 892 for Will Smith. That is 30 points higher than Grandal. It's 90 points higher than Realmuto. He's got a higher weighted runs created plus than both of those guys. So we're not talking about a 2021 season that you just say, he was better last year, but it's an aberration. If anything, you're looking at a guy who is ascending, whereas you're talking about 2 or 3 other guys who are plateauing at best, if not descending. If you want to talk baseball savant stuff, I love that. Will Smith, everything is red. He's above average at barreling balls up, hitting them hard, not chasing, not whiffing. He's above average sprint speed. He's above average at framing as well. So I don't know what I'm missing. I mean, I guess it just feels like this is a name brand thing. If you watched our starting pitching one, we said, hey, you know what? He gives credit to Clayton Kershaw, guys like that would have done it for extended periods of time. Maybe too much. That's kind of what makes the Jansen omission, by the way, so confusing in the relief pitcher one. But this feels like a name brand JT Realmuto, Yasmani Grandal type of thing, rather than just looking at what's in front of you and saying Will Smith was actually way better than both of those guys last year.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I think, maybe speculating a little bit, perhaps Will Smith's, the stolen base numbers for the Dodgers are not pretty. But if you just look at that on the surface, of course, the catcher's going to bear some of the responsibility and the blame from that. But if you watch the games last year, a lot of that was actually on the pitchers not having sufficient times to the plate to even give Will Smith or Austin Barnes much of a chance. So, maybe that's a factor. I do think, though, that probably the overarching thing is just that Will Smith is still so young, and you still have the old guard who is being productive behind the plate, and so they're going to just kind of de facto stay ahead of him. Now, if Will Smith has another amazing season in 2022, I think going into 2023, we'll then see him at least second.
Yeah, and again, the Realmuto and Grandal, I was higher on Grandal than I think any Dodger fan I've ever talked to. I didn't mind him nearly as much. I think if you want to say those guys are right there, again, you look at the numbers, it's not that big of a gap. when it comes to wins above replacement, that kind of a thing. I think Perez is the one that's like just entirely offensive to me that he is ranked ahead, because even with the career year last year, this is a guy who has injury problems over the past 3 seasons, who, all things said, still had a lower wins above replacement than Will Smith did last season. So let us know what you think below. I mean, I'm trying, when I come to videos like this, I'm like, am I being a total homer? Will Smith's my favorite Dodger. Obviously, I love the Dodgers, but on this one, I just can't wrap my mind around it. So let us know in the comments below. Am I crazy? Should Will Smith be higher on this list? Should he be number 1? Do you agree with me on that front? That's Matt Moreno. My name's Jeff Spiegel. We appreciate you. Check out DodgerBlue.com, DodgerBlue1958 on social media. And of course, right here, click the notification bell, click subscribe. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.